Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala syarfil anbiya il mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, I have given you some video of the idea of how we're going to be a life coach. Now we are at the C. Remember, we have in our free life coach training program, we have the 4 levels, MC. Remember this mnemonic. M is for motivation, which I have given to you. C is for coaching. M is for mentoring, and finally C is for counseling. MC, that is our model, and we are for motivation. I have the 6P GNL model. You go to Islamic Motivation PIP, there has 135 videos there to give you a good understanding, and we have repeated this, some of it, in our motivation module, the M module. Now we are in the C module, that is coaching. And coaching, we are using a very standard model called the growth model. The growth model is, first, you must understand what is the goal setting, then reality check, and then O is for obstacle and option, W is the will and way forward, T is for tactics, and then H is for habits. Okay, habits. So I'm going to give you some idea of how we can then be a coach, an effective coach, by understanding certain ideas of option and obstacle in life. The O, option and obstacle in life, can be best described by a lot of our great imam, our scholars, our spiritual masters in Islam, as well as in other tradition, where they call the wheel of life. Alright, so the wheel of life is always turning. Alright, and we go through many states. Alright, as long as we are living on the peripheral of the wheel, this is the wheel, so this wheel is always turning. Okay, so it's always turning. We are living on the peripheral of the wheel, then we go through the whole process of the various aspects of the external of the wheel. But if we go to the center, this should be the hub. This is the rim, this is the hub. So a lot of our spiritual masters has explained how we can then receive faith in God, sakina, sa'ada, and so on at the hub, because the wheel can change, but the hub is always steady and always ever not moving around. Okay, so I'm going to give you some idea, because this is also relevant for us as a life coach, as well how we going to implement this in our life first, because whatever that we do, we must be practicing some aspect of this in our life, so that we make our life a better life, so that we can coach somebody who has a problem. If we ourselves are also having problem, which is a greater problem than the person whom you are coaching, then it won't work. So we must transcend at a certain level, and this I'm giving you some ideas of the obstacle and options in life. So every one of us, if we live on the peripheral of this life, that means if we live on the aspect of the material plane, which is given to you, the feelings, the TEF, thoughts, emotion and feelings model, which I've given to you in the previous video, we are living on the peripheral of the wheel of life. So for example, we may now be in happiness, we may now be in success. So at 12 degree, this is 12 degree, at 12 o'clock, this is 12 o'clock, this is 3 o'clock, this is 6 o'clock, this is 9 o'clock. Alright, so this wheel is turning around. So this is the rim, this is the spoke, all the spoke. These are incidents in your life. So there are thousands and thousands of incidents in your life that is going down, all right, going to the spoke. So when you understand that, you may have success now, you may have happiness, and you may have joy. In terms of maybe a career, you have a good family, you have a good car, you have a good house. But you see, this is exterior thing. So exterior thing actually will then go down. For example, then you may go through, like Mr. Salim, he having now fear. He's at 3 o'clock because he has worry, anxiety, because he's feared that he's going to lose his job. He's fearing how he's going to feed his family. He's fearing. So that fear is translating, bring him down even further, suffering, failure, depression and trauma, in the sense that now he is not only he is affecting himself, but it's affecting his wife. Puan Selina is being beaten up. Now because the fear and worry, anxiety of failure in life brings about this descent to suffering, fear, depression, trauma. So we as a life coach, then at 6 o'clock we must bring them to 9 o'clock. Hope. Raja. We must have hope, and then we can bring up here. But as long as we are moving around in this wheel of life, we are living on the rim. Alright? So if we are living on the rim, we are living only in the material plane. But to slowly transcend this material plane, so that we ourselves can receive sakina, and sa'adah. Sa'adah is happiness, sakina is peace and tranquility. We must have faith in Allah. That means we must live in the Islam, ihsan, iman, Islam, ihsan, the mode of iman, Islam, ihsan. So at the rim, at the hub here, in Islam, love of Allah is called hub. So it's hub and hub, is very close. So at the center, if I draw the wheel this way, all right, and the center is just this is small, okay. You can see this is the wheel of a bicycle, all right. You can see the same thing. So now I'm giving it this so that I can write down this. So this is the center. This center is regarding how the wheel go. This center doesn't change, but the wheel is positioning whether it is 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and it is always moving round and round and round we go in this dunya. So round and round and round we go in this dunya, going through happiness or joy in the physical plane, having a good job and so on, then worry to fear, then suffering and failure, and then maybe going up hope. But some people, they don't go beyond 6 o'clock. They are always suffering, failure, depression, and they give up. So there's no hope. There's no hope in life, there's no hope in God, there's no hope in anything. So quite a number of them at this level then commit suicide or give up on leave their family, become a drunkard or become a drug addict or become reclusive or become mentally unstable, because the pressure, all right, of this dunya is so heavy that they give up. So we should not allow this to happen, because this is shakawa. Right here is sa'adah, happiness. The true and pure happiness is right in the center, right in the hub, not in the rim. All right. So we must try to come to our center. Remember, this is our struggle, our journey in life. For us to have sakina and sa'adah, we must have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then we must slowly bring in this idea of iman, Islam and ihsan, that we practice our deen with full of iman of Allah. Then we have Islam in our rituals, or the fiqh aspect of this dunya. And then we must have ihsan, realizing the grandeur of Allah and hoping in His grace, His mercy, His love, His compassion to bestow us the sakina and the sa'adah. Alright, so we have to have this tool to understand, and you can describe this tool to your coachee. Once you yourself begin to practice this wheel of life in a positive manner, that means you don't live at the peripheral, but you try to get to the center, 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 try to get center, from the physical rim to the rim of the spiritual, emotional and mental, reaching towards faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, relying Him, tawakkul on Allah, and then practicing this aspect to as much as you can, and then you will lessen your fear of this dunya, because as long as you're living on the rim externally, you have this fear of this dunya, fear of dying, even fear of disease, fear of no money, fear of no hope, fear. So this is the fear that is driving you round and round and round. All right. So to get out of it is just to go into the center, and to go in the center there are many tools in which as a Muslim you are open to this joy of total faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you have the total faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His grace and mercy, He gives you that total faith. Nothing, I'm telling you, nothing in the world will change. You are free from fear, worry and so on, because those who believe in Allah, those who serve Allah, those who do, Allah tells us in the Quran, many places in the Quran, la khawfun wa la hum yahzanun, you shall have no fear, la khawfun, a fear of the past, wa la hum yahzanun, no, you have no fear nor worry of the future. So this is very important. So I'm going to give you certain tips of how you can then use this as a basis to overcome obstacle and have options in life, because success, happiness and joy is options in life. Suffering, failure, depression, trauma is also option in life. All right, fear, worry, anxiety is option in life. Hope and fulfillment and journeying towards success. This is journeying to success. This journey to success. Okay, you're going this way is also your option. But each option, they will have an obstacle. That means if you want to have happiness, you want to have joy, you want to have the fulfillment in this life, it is not by traveling on the outer road. You have to travel into the inner road, the hubbullah. That's why the greatest hope for any Muslim, for us, is to travel inwards, to have the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With His grace, He gives you all His love. You have no worry, no fear, no nothing in the world can shake you up. This is the state of our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Imagine the kind of suffering that he's go through. The state of our Sahabas, the state of those great Imam, the great scholars and so on. They are not shaken by this dunya. Why they are not shaken by this dunya? They are not being controlled by the nature of the transience of this external world, but they are only relying their hope in the grace and the mercy, the iman, the Islam, the ihsan that Allah can bless them with. And this is very important. So we must then infuse ourselves. As a life coach, you must understand this, because we must start moving inward. And it is a struggle. I'm in my journey, you are in your journey. Each one of us is, how far are we deep into how far are we from the exterior rim to the inner core of the hub of Allah, hubbullah, mawadda wa rahmah. And this is something so joyful, so beautiful. As you journey inwards, whatever little signs that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you, you will then feel the joy of iman, the joy of Islam, the joy of fulfilling your mission, your vision, your journey in life as the Caliph of Allah. So I'm going to give you some more ideas on this, but what's important is that whatever obstacle, we are talking now about obstacle and option, whatever option, you must choose an option that brings you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and move away from the option that is becoming obstacle to you. That means option of having fear, worry, anxiety, option of suffering, failure, depression and so on, regardless whatever the external environment is. And then you must have hope and journey towards success for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, living in iman, Islam and ihsan, and inshallah you can have this fullness of understanding how you can help your coachee overcome their obstacle in life, and what are the options open to them as I give you more and more tools in terms of the tactics and habit later on, and also the will. Alright, so we'll go to the next video and I'll give you some more ideas. Remember, it is a two-way process. As I train you to become a coach, I am also in the process of trying to perfect myself in the way of Islam, in the way of this deen. All of us are imperfect. All of us have our own difficulties, and as mentioned in the previous, we have our own trauma, we have our own disaster in life, we have our own so many things, shortcomings, but that should not prevent us to transcend and hope, having the hubbullah, mawadda wa rahmah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and applying it to our life in whatever small measure, and realizing that when the more you apply, the more you have this hub, you would then be able to tackle any challenges in life. That means Allah will open the gate of all options to overcome all challenges in your life, inshallah, with His grace, with mercy, and understanding our purpose and meaning in life. Always remember, we are His Khalifa on this earth, His vicegerent, the vicegerent of God, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has given us this vicegerency for us to seek that purpose and meaning in this vicegerency, to have iman, Islam and ihsan, and to strive to make a difference, to make ourselves good, to help others to be good, and make this world good for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and all His creatures on this good earth, inshallah.